Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Okay, guys, so here's the thing. There is a news piece about Barbie apologizing for, quote, falling short in Asian representation on the Olympic doll line. So let me just put my camera here so I can read it and you can see my eyes not looking all black, you know. Barbie's parent company, Mattel, has apologized for falling short in Asian representation for its latest Olympic doll collection. So in August 2021, and the Tokyo Olympic 2020 dolls is the subject in the news, and obviously the recent issuing of the Olympic dolls are being looked at as well. So there was lots of online criticism, especially on the socials and in the mainstream media, for criticism for Mattel, who make Barbie, for not including an Asian Barbie in its Olympic doll lineup. Mattel tried to explain that the skateboarding doll was meant to be a representation of the Asian American community. And that was reported on NBC News in the States. But critics are saying that that Barbie doll does not even look Asian. So let's get to the bottom of what's going on. Barbie tweeted, Barbie is committed to empowering girls to participate in sports by capturing the fun and friendship of the season and inspiring kids to find the athlete within. Hashtag you can be anything, hashtag Tokyo 2020, hashtag Olympics. So the dolls were issued. Let me just show you quickly. There we go. So Barbie tweeted on the 29th of July the image of the dolls in the Olympic collection. And it said it was committed to empowering girls to participate in sports by capturing fun and friendship of the season. Okay, that's a very general term that kids can understand. But it says since the dolls came out in July, Mattel have been under fire in the media and by marketing, PR people and regular people who know about Barbie. And Barbie fans, you know, people are watching that the brand there's been a massive backlash because the Asian doll does not look Asian. And it says that there is more need for Asian representation in the Barbie dolls by Mattel. And that people were very disappointed in Mattel for not getting it right. So, you know, the Olympics are held in Tokyo. The Barbie Olympic dolls were issued and they couldn't get right the Asian doll. So obviously, I agree, you need to get things like that right. It's a big thing. But let's see what the debate is looking for and against, because there's always people who criticize more than others. But to be honest, if they failed, at least they've admitted it. So it says the brands received many criticism about the lack of Asian representation. And people were very disappointed that, especially when the Olympics were held in Tokyo, they couldn't even get right the Asian Barbie. Fair point, absolutely. It says, this is a really good point, and this is why I've gone my hair color like this, to be more inclusive of Barbie. Listen to this. This is in marketing article, marketinginteractive.com. Right, let's get to the bottom dollar, literally what it's all about. So if Barbie can issue 2 blonde Barbie dolls, but not a proper Asian doll, what the hell is all of that about? So let's get it right, Mattel, please. We love you, but you need to get it right. So one of the reasons why I've got more dark blonde and brown and blonde is to be more representative. I've got brown eyes and blonde hair, because that look of being blonde that Mattel have in the past overissued blue-eyed blonde does not really exist. It's a very rare eye color and hair color. And most people, especially myself, had to bleach your hair, and that's really damaging. It's not sending the best messages to young people. So as I represent Barbie as a human Barbie doll, one of the top in the world, I now want to be more inclusive of sending I want to be more inclusive of the Barbie eye color, hair color, skin tones, and everything. You know, obviously I'm Caucasian, so I do my fake tan because I'm very half Irish pale. But I want to, as a performer, wearing outfits and playing dress up as Barbie, I want to represent Barbie better than I have in the past. So I even took my 2 Barbie dolls, put all my makeup on them, dyed their hair a brown blonde, and painted their blue eyes brown to match my eyes. They're actually really hazel, if you look. So let's get back to the point. People were disappointed that Mattel issued 2 blonde Barbie dolls again. And the Asian doll, it is quite astounding that they couldn't get right the Asian doll. And someone also said that since Asia is a huge region, Barbie should have also included the Southeast, Central and West Asia, as well as representation from Latin America, Polynesia, Native Americans, and Micronesia. Even Twitter users really hit back at Mattel, and they were saying also that the achievements of the Asian female Olympians included gymnast Sunisa Lee, who was the first Asian American to get the gold medal in the gymnastics individuals all round. So obviously, when you've got the Tokyo Olympics, you've got all the cultures that are represented in the Olympics. This is what the Olympics is about. It's about a multicultural, everything, inclusivity writ large, big time. So you're issuing the 2 blonde Barbie dolls, but you can't get right the Asian doll. That needs to be worked on, Mattel. And the tweet by, okay, so somebody tweeted, okay. A Twitter user said, it's beyond imagination that while more than 50% of the world population is Asians and the Olympics 2020 was hosted in Asian country, and yet Mattel released a set of Barbie dolls without a single Asian doll. But they felt absolutely necessary to make 2 white Barbie dolls and call it the most diverse set of Barbies issued yet. Correct, of course. So there's going to be a backlash because, you know, Barbie's known for being a blue-eyed blonde, but no, I'm sorry, not anymore. And even in my book, I've been studying my book, The History of Barbie. It talks about the Japanese Barbie, which was issued in 1985. This is what I'm trying to get to grips with about why Barbie, what they're doing. Mattel, Barbie and the Colors of the World, a cross-cultural journey. And the first Black Barbie was issued in 1980. Right. So then I'm looking for all of the cultures and all of, you know, diverse cultures collecting the dolls. Okay, so let me have a look at this. Mexican Barbie 1996, Dutch Barbie 1994, Hawaiian Barbie, Polynesian Barbie 1995, Hawaiian Barbie 1975, and Parisian Barbie 1997, a doll in every color, a Ghanaian Barbie in 1996 was issued. Indian Barbie 1996 follows an earlier version from 1982, wearing their cultural clothes. Arctic Barbie 1997, Eskimo Barbie 1982, Puerto Rican Barbie 1997, Chinese Barbie 1994, Russian Barbie 1997, previously issued in 1989. Okay, so it keeps going on, but this is what I'm going to read here. Obviously, Asia is a huge region, so I'm going to talk about this from the book. This is in the book. Okay. The Japanese Problem. This is by Marco Tossa, Barbie, 4 Decades of Fashion, Fantasy, and Fun, which I've done in my previous podcast. The Japanese Problem. Among the many dolls manufactured for export, those destined for Japan required a special effort on Mattel's part. It seems incredible that Barbie would have the hardest time penetrating and finding popular success in this country, the birthplace of her production. That's a really good point. The journalist Dara Kotnik addressed the issue when she wrote, with Oriental courtesy, the editor of a magazine specializing in the toy market said, it's the fault of the too beautiful doll. Oh, I don't like that. That's very judgmental. So, and so the writer of the book says, this explains rather diplomatically why Mattel, the biggest toy producer in the world, has not been able to position itself amongst the 20 major toy suppliers in Japan. The fact is that Barbie has a smiling expression, and little Japanese girls who are used to covering their mouths when they laugh were afraid of her. Well, this is what the author of this book says, yeah? And the eyes, they're wide open, and the expression is confident, almost arrogant. Really? I don't think so. The clothes are conspicuous, the expression of an independent life, easy money, and tastes that are questionable and expensive. End of quote. Mattel responded quickly to the observations and adapted Barbie's look to incorporate feedback from the Japanese market. Okay, here we go. So the new Barbie was transformed from the one universally known. They changed the expression to be mild. The lips were only slightly parted with a smile. The skin was pale. The scandalous bust was less big, and the legs were long, but the feet were shaped for flat shoes. Right, okay. The hair was blonde. What? It says it should be noted that another concept of Barbie that is very different from the one currently in distribution does exist in Asia. In 1982, a Japanese toy factory, Takara, produced dolls under license from Mattel, exclusively for the Asian market. In 1986, the license was passed to another local factory called Marbar, an acronym of its parent company named Mattel and Bandai. Although the Barbie logo was identical on the doll packaging, as were the names of the various characters in her world, the image of the product was profoundly different from her American, quote, parent, with a wide, plump face, round eyes, shoulder length, blonde hair with bangs. This doll resembled the animated cartoons then popular in Japan. So they had the Mary Poppins Barbie 1992, the Malaysian Barbie 1991, with Asian features, it said, and the outfit. And then Jamaican Barbie 1992, Italian Barbie 1993, and German Barbie 1995. All right, so this isn't really explaining anything about why Barbie, the Mattel company that make Barbie, why they're not getting right the Asian representation. They need to do it, and they need to figure it out. Because let's look at it. If Barbie is going to be inclusive and hashtag you can be anything, you need to send the right message. And Mattel, they need to fix this, and I'm sure they will. And I'm sure everyone will be happy and great later this year or next year, whenever Mattel do it, hopefully ASAP, everyone's going to be happy. So anyway, I was reading from Barbie, 4 Decades of Fashion and Fun by Marco Tossa. And we were reading from a marketing news outlet that were talking about why the Tokyo Olympic dolls that have just been issued at the end of July 2021, why they don't have a properly represented Asian Barbie when 2 blonde Barbies were issued. Yeah. Need to get it right. And that's why I've done my hair like this, because not everyone can relate to the bleach blonde, blue-eyed Barbie. It doesn't really exist. It's very rare, and it's not inclusive anymore. So, okay. So I will follow up in my next podcast and do this. Yay. Thank you for watching, guys. Barbie love and hugs from me, Rachel Evans, the Human Barbie. And check out the Parody podcast hosted by Rachel, aka Barbie Evans. Bye, guys.